he began to behold the world, and something begins to break out of his inside, from his inside. And then he checks, he said, in the last 2 years, I've not desired somebody. What has happened? We all with unveiled faces, beholding as in a glass. So living epistles are beholders of the glory. You cannot be a testament to your generation until light breaks out of your inside. Because the economy of the world among men is to be a light that shines in darkness. The devil puts together every artillery that he has. But we all with unveiled faces, beholding as in a glass. Suddenly, the armory of darkness becomes vulnerable and epileptic. So you enter into a place. They say every man that came here fell. You laugh. Because this one who is coming is a carrier of the glory. And the light shines in the darkness. And the darkness comprehended it not. This is why Jesus was bold to send us into all the worlds. He didn't send us to heaven. He sent us into darkness. Because he knows that the light we contact should shine in darkness. But we run to church to shine. How can you shine here when everybody is supposed to be light? Nobody goes to the brothel. All your gospel end in grammar. And the people in church are the ones who will be impressed with your grammar. But you can't talk to the Muslim guy. You can't talk to the harlot. Meanwhile, that's where you were sent to. Not even your classmate notice that there's anything in your life. You are not a living epistle. This thing is not zeal and boldness. This thing is becoming one with the word of God. So you take the responsibility of sitting on it until it breaks into your soul. This is where Christianity becomes difficult. It's easy to come for a program and then you are wowed by what you saw. And you are going home, you are happy. Oh boy, today's service. No. It begins when you are alone. The interaction with the word. It eats into your soul until you think it, you talk it, and you do it. Then a living epistle appears in the territory. It's a project that God himself is working upon. Because what you don't know is that the city that is building, that city will shine with the light of God. And you and I are that city. So a man who does not shine cannot be part of the blocks of that city. In Revelation chapter 21 verse 11, he said, I saw the new Jerusalem descending from heaven, prepared as the bride of God. And he said the wall of that city was shining like jasper. So any man who does not interact with light on earth to the degree of shining, he doesn't have a place in the wall of that city. This is why I told you that relevance transcends time. Relevance transcends time. It's an eternal infrastructure that God is building through men. The city that will appear, that is called the bride of Christ, is a city that illuminates with light, the very light of God that it contacts on earth. Because in Revelation chapter 5, chapter 4 verse 3, the Bible said God himself, he said he glows like jasper. And the wall of that city in Revelation 21 verse 11, he said it shines like jasper. And Paul will come to tell us in 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 11, he said you are God's building. You are the wall of the New Jerusalem. Everything God is doing to your soul is because of the part of that wall that you will fit in. But the first thing that qualifies you to be part of that city is for you to conform enough to be able to illuminate his light. The jasper light of God. To what extent do you illuminate it? It's what will give you a place in that wall. You know, when the apostles were following Jesus, they thought it was ministry. Until the Bible will go to tell us that in that city, he said there are 12 foundations. And he said the name of the 12 apostles of the Lamb are signatures on each of the foundation. So they didn't know that when they were following Jesus to preach the gospel, they were actually beginning to build the New Jerusalem. So what Jesus was doing through the apostle was to build an eternal city that himself will dwell in the end of time. Because he said, God, the tabernacle of God is among men. He said, and God will now dwell with his people. Man